Have you ever wondered what makes a psychopath? Are they the cold-blooded killers from movies, or are they closer to us than we think? The truth is, psychopaths can be anyone, and they often blend seamlessly into society. But that doesn't mean they're harmless. Here are 7 subtle signs you might be dealing with a psychopath. Imagine you've just had a fight with your partner. You're heartbroken and tears are streaming down your face. You look up, hoping to see some remorse in their eyes, but instead, they're staring intently at your mouth. This seemingly insignificant detail could be a major red flag. Recent research suggests that psychopaths have difficulty processing distress in facial expressions, focusing instead on the mouth to avoid emotional connection. 1. Exaggerated egotism. One of the defining characteristics of psychopathy is a grandiose sense of self-importance. This manifests as an unshakable belief in their own superiority and exceptionalism. Psychopaths tend to view themselves as above the rules, entitled to special treatment, and inherently more intelligent and capable than others. This inflated ego fuels their manipulative tactics and disregard for the consequences of their actions. Their inflated self-perception allows them to justify their behavior, regardless of its harmfulness. They rarely take responsibility for their mistakes, shifting blame and manipulating others to conform to their warped reality. This lack of accountability further reinforces their sense of entitlement and superiority, creating a vicious cycle that perpetuates their harmful behavior. The outward manifestation of this inflated self-importance can be diverse, ranging from blatant arrogance and boastfulness to subtle forms of manipulation and control. They may exaggerate their achievements, demand admiration, and belittle others. Their disregard for social norms and rules is often evident, leading to impulsive and reckless behavior. Understanding this distorted self-perception is crucial for navigating interactions with individuals with psychopathic tendencies. Recognizing their inflated sense of self-importance allows us to anticipate their manipulative tactics and protect ourselves from their harmful influence. 2. Behavioral chaos. Psychopaths walk a tightrope between their carefully constructed mask and a volatile core of impulsivity and lack of control. This internal struggle can manifest as sudden and unpredictable shifts in emotions, leading to outbursts of anger, violence, or other reckless behaviors. Unlike the average person who experiences a gradual buildup of emotions before reacting, psychopaths can experience rapid and intense emotional fluctuations. This can lead to seemingly random outbursts that appear out of context and catch others off guard. The lack of emotional depth and genuine remorse further contributes to their unpredictable nature, as they may not understand or care about the consequences of their actions. This inherent impulsivity makes interacting with psychopaths a potential minefield. Their sudden shifts in mood and unpredictable behavior can leave others feeling confused, vulnerable, and even unsafe. It's important to be wary of individuals whose emotions seem erratic or whose behavior shifts rapidly without clear explanation. Recognizing the potential for sudden outbursts is crucial for personal safety and well-being. Maintaining distance, setting clear boundaries, and avoiding situations that could trigger emotional responses are important steps in minimizing the potential for harm. Ultimately, understanding the volatile nature of psychopaths allows us to navigate interactions with them cautiously and prioritize our own safety. 3. Insincerity. Psychopaths are often skilled at presenting a charming and charismatic facade. They can be persuasive, engaging, and adept at manipulating others' emotions. However, beneath this polished surface lies a profound lack of genuine emotional connection. Their charm, while effective in gaining trust and achieving their goals, often feels shallow and ultimately disingenuous. This disconnect arises from the core characteristic of psychopathy, a deficit in emotional empathy. While they can understand and even mimic emotions intellectually, they lack the ability to truly experience them themselves. This makes it difficult for them to connect with others on a deeper level and fosters a sense of emotional detachment. As a result, their expressions of emotions may feel forced or exaggerated, lacking the authenticity and nuance that characterize genuine emotional experience. Their words and actions may often contradict each other, creating a sense of inconsistency and distrust. Observing the discrepancy between their external expressions and internal emotional state serves as a crucial red flag. By paying close attention to whether their words align with their actions, one can begin to discern the shallowness of their emotional displays and navigate interactions with them with increased caution. Ultimately, recognizing the disconnect between the charming facade and the lack of genuine emotional connection allows us to protect ourselves from manipulation and emotional harm. It is important to remember that their charm, while enticing, often serves as a mask for a far more complex and potentially dangerous reality. For a parasitic lifestyle, psychopaths are skilled predators, adept at identifying and exploiting the vulnerabilities of others. Their manipulation tactics are often subtle and insidious, disguised under a mask of charm, charisma, and even feigned affection. They are experts at taking advantage of your resources, kindness, and generosity, all without experiencing the slightest shred of guilt or remorse. This exploitation can manifest in various forms, from financial manipulation and emotional blackmail to physical abuse and social isolation. Psychopaths may weave elaborate stories of hardship and misfortune to elicit sympathy and support, only to drain your emotional and financial resources without ever offering anything in return. The constant demands and one-sided nature of the relationship can leave you feeling drained, depleted, and emotionally exhausted. You may notice a pattern of giving and giving, yet receiving nothing in return. This is a clear sign that the relationship is imbalanced and that your kindness is being weaponized against you. It is crucial to recognize the warning signs of exploitation and take decisive action. This includes setting clear boundaries, refusing unreasonable requests, and prioritizing your own well-being. It may even require ending the relationship altogether if the individual continues to exploit you. Remember, you are not responsible for fulfilling the insatiable demands of a psychopath. By recognizing the manipulative nature of their behavior and asserting your needs, you can break free from their exploitative grasp and reclaim your sense of agency and self-worth. 5. Discuss threshold. While the average person might find images of violence, gore, or suffering deeply disturbing, psychopaths often exhibit a remarkable tolerance for such content. This phenomenon can be attributed to their unique psychological makeup, specifically, the absence of empathy and emotional connection to others. Instead of experiencing disgust or revulsion, psychopaths might remain detached and even indifferent to graphic imagery or situations. This is because they lack the ability to share or understand the emotions of others, including their pain and suffering. Without this emotional connection, psychopaths can process disturbing stimuli in a fundamentally different way. They may view such content with intellectual curiosity or even amusement, devoid of the emotional impact it would have on most people. This desensitization can be a powerful tool for psychopaths, allowing them to engage in harmful behavior without experiencing guilt or remorse. It can also enable them to manipulate and exploit others, as they are not affected by the emotional consequences of their actions. Understanding this disconnect between psychopaths and the emotional impact of disturbing content is crucial for several reasons. First, it can help us to better understand the motivations behind their behavior. When we recognize that they lack empathy, we can begin to see how their actions might not stem from malice or cruelty, but rather from a fundamental inability to understand the suffering of others. Second, this knowledge can help us to protect ourselves from manipulation. By recognizing that psychopaths may be drawn to individuals who are easily disturbed, we can be more vigilant about protecting our own emotional well-being. Finally, understanding the desensitization of psychopaths can help us to create a more just and compassionate society. By recognizing that they may require different approaches to treatment and rehabilitation, we can work to develop more effective strategies for dealing with individuals who exhibit this unique psychological profile. 6. Facial attention. One of the subtle yet telling signs of psychopathy is the tendency to avoid direct eye contact, particularly during emotionally charged interactions. While most people naturally engage in eye contact to build rapport and gauge emotional responses, psychopaths often avert their gaze for strategic reasons. This behavior serves two primary functions for psychopaths. 1. Information gathering. By avoiding eye contact, psychopaths can observe and analyze their surroundings and the individuals they interact with without giving away their own thoughts or intentions. This allows them to collect valuable information about others' emotional states, vulnerabilities, and potential weaknesses, which they can then exploit for their own benefit. 2. Emotional detachment. Unlike most individuals who are subconsciously influenced by the emotional cues conveyed through eye contact, psychopaths often lack the capacity for genuine emotional connection. By avoiding direct gaze, they can maintain their emotional detachment and avoid the potential discomfort or vulnerability associated with genuine emotional engagement. Consistent aversion of eye contact during emotionally charged interactions can be a significant red flag for potential psychopathy. However, it's important to note that this behavior alone is not definitive proof. Cultural norms, social anxiety, and other factors can also contribute to avoiding eye contact. Therefore, it's crucial to consider this observation alongside other indicators of psychopathy, such as lack of empathy or remorse, superficial charm and manipulation, impulsivity and lack of control, grandiose sense of self-importance, parasitic lifestyle. By recognizing the significance of averted eye contact in conjunction with other behavioral patterns, we can gain valuable insight into the potential presence of psychopathic tendencies and take appropriate steps to protect ourselves and others. 7. Missing distress. One of the most disturbing aspects of psychopathy is the profound deficit in recognizing and acknowledging the distress of others. This inability stems from their lack of empathy, which prevents them from understanding and sharing the emotions of others, particularly negative ones like sadness, pain, or fear. Individuals with psychopathy may appear oblivious to the emotional cues that typically signal distress, such as facial expressions, body language, and vocal tone. They may even misinterpret these cues, attributing them to weakness, manipulation, or even deception. This lack of recognition extends to situations where the distress is blatant and undeniable. Psychopaths may observe someone crying, screaming, or expressing obvious pain without demonstrating any concern or offering assistance. This can be deeply hurtful and confusing for those experiencing genuine suffering, leaving them feeling isolated and unsupported. Beyond the immediate emotional impact, the inability to recognize distress can have significant consequences for the well-being of others. Psychopaths may fail to provide essential help in emergency situations, neglect the needs of loved ones, or even exploit the vulnerability of individuals experiencing emotional distress. Understanding the psychopath's blindness to suffering is crucial for several reasons. First, it can help us to understand the motivations behind their seemingly callous behavior. When we recognize that their lack of response stems from a deficit in empathy, we can avoid attributing malicious intent to their actions. Second, this knowledge can help us to protect ourselves from manipulation. Psychopaths may exploit our natural tendency to help others in distress by feigning suffering to gain sympathy or manipulate us into fulfilling their desires. Finally, understanding the psychopath's limitations can help us to develop more effective strategies for dealing with them. By recognizing their inability to recognize distress, we can adjust our communication and expectations to avoid unnecessary frustration and emotional harm. Ultimately, recognizing the psychopath's lack of empathy and its manifestation in their inability to recognize and respond to distress is essential for navigating interactions with these individuals safely and compassionately. Remember, these signs are not foolproof, and a diagnosis of psychopathy should only be made by a qualified professional. However, if you're concerned about someone in your life, it's important to be aware of these potential red flags. By recognizing the signs, you can protect yourself and others from potential harm. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.